Okay, welcome back. Today we'll be discussing the 2003 maths paper, okay, maths oral paper. Here, unlike the new syllabus, here altogether you all have, in part 1, you all have 30 questions, okay. So, to start with the first question, it says to add 82 and 8.2. Okay, now you have 82 and 8.2. How do you add? It looks easy, but always remember, now when you write 82, you have to think as if the decimal is at the last point. Okay, and let's take like the decimal is at the last point, and you have 8.2 to be added. So you build up this way. So since you don't have a number here, you put 0. So once you add, you get 2 here. 8 plus 2 will give you 10, therefore you write 0, and then you have 1 towards the other side, so altogether 90, and you place the decimal on the same line. Okay, so you have 90.2 as the answer. And the second question says find the perimeter of an equilateral triangle of which the length of a side is 3.2. Now there is an equilateral triangle. The length of one side is equal to 3.2 centimeters. So how do you find the total perimeter? Yes, you have to multiply 3.2 by 3. Okay, so here you have 6, 3 times 3 is 9. So mention the units. Altogether the perimeter is equal to 9.6 centimeters. And the third question, the price of 4 books is X rupees. What is the price of a book? So you have to divide the total price. The total price of all 4 books is equal to X. So you have to divide this amount by 4. Clear? Okay. So the fourth question. The fourth question, you have to add 2 numbers. They say 8 plus, and you have a negative number to be added. Now this is the way you have to start. Okay. So you have a plus, you have a negative. Minus. So plus into minus will give you how much? Negative, right? Minus. So 8 minus 5. So what is the answer? 8 minus 5 is simply equal to 3. Okay. And the fifth question, I hope you all can see it. The fifth question says the height of a tin of paint is 20 centimeter. Okay. The height of a paint bottle, a paint tin. Okay. It is equal to 20 centimeters. What is the total height of 20 such tins in meters? Okay, how do you give the answer? Okay, fifth one. Okay, one tin is equal to 20 centimeters. So in order to find the height of all 5 tins, you have to multiply by 5, right? So 20 into 5 is equal to 100 centimeters, and finally you have to convert the unit into meters. So 100 meters is equal to 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. Clear? Okay. And then the sixth one. Sixth one, they have given you a diagram. They're asking you the lengths of 2 angles is given. One is 73, 67. You have to find the unknown angle. That is easy, right? Yes, if you consider this total triangle PQR, altogether all 3 angles should give you 180, since this is a triangle. Okay, so 2 angles are known. We can call this angle as X and then find the unknown angle. Therefore I will do it this way. Let me add 73 plus 67. This is the step. Okay, and the unknown angle, let us take it as X. Altogether should give you 180. Therefore once if you add these 2 and if you take it to the other side, the X will be the subject. So it will give you how much? 67 and 73? 140. Therefore the balance is equal to 40 degrees. Clear? Okay. And then let us move on to the next part. That is question number 7. Okay. What does question number 7 say? You have to factorize. Factorize means you have to take the common term outside. Okay. Now if you consider this, you have what is common there. You have only a common. Therefore let us take a out. So what is left there? You have 2b left and plus 3 will be left. Okay, so that comes inside the bracket. Clear? Okay. Let us check the 8th question. A man bought an article for 250 rupees and sold it for 300. What is the profit he received? They are asking you only the profit, not the percentage. Okay, that is easy. They are asking you how much. So how much is the profit? He gets 50 rupees, right? Yeah. And then the 9th question. You have to observe the diagram. What do they say? Using the information given in the Venn diagram, you have to fill in the blank. So this is the universal set. There is a set given P. So the elements are marked as A, B, D and G. C is outside. So here they are asking you what is the complement of P. Now P is this set. The complement of C means the one which is outside of P. In other terms, the one which does not belong to P. So P complement is equal to what? P complement is equal to only C, right? That is only element that doesn't belong to P. Okay. So okay, let us move on to the 10th question. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so 10th, it says there is a ratio given 2:3 is equal to 6:6, 6 is to x. You have to find the value of x. Now this is the way you find out. Okay, now you have to, now since these two ratios are equal, proportions are equal, you have to check it this way. Now how has 2 become 6? It is multiplied by 3, right? So you have to perform the same operation onto the other number as well. So since this is multiplied by 3, you have to multiply this also by 3. That is going to give you how much? 3 multiplied by 3 is equal to 9. So x is equal to 9. That is simple. Okay. So let us check the 11th question. So they have given you two fractions, algebraic fractions. You have to add both. One is that the denominator of one fraction is a minus 3 and the denominator of the other fraction is a plus 3. Okay. Now since the denominators are not equal, you have to find the LCM of both. What is the LCM of both? LCM of both is the multiplication of both of these numbers. So the LCM is this. Observe, the LCM is a minus 3 and a plus 3. This is the LCM. Understand? The least common multiple. Therefore, now what you have to do is, this is the common LCM. Therefore, in order to get this LCM, what should you do to this fraction? You have a minus 3, but in order to get this LCM, you have to multiply this fraction by how much? A plus 3. Clear? So I'll write the common LCM. We normally write it in the denominator. So the LCM we have found out, that is a minus 3, a plus 3. But in order to get this LCM, you have to multiply this 1 by a plus 3. So I'll straight away write a plus 3 here. And you have a plus into 1 multiplied by what number? Okay, that is also the same. Since you have a plus 3, in order to get the LCM, you have to multiply by the other number, that is a minus 3. So you multiply this by a minus 3. Now solve. You have a plus 3 plus, you have to just remove the bracket. Okay, multiply 1 by a and multiply 1 by minus 3. So you have a plus 3 plus 1, plus a minus 3 over the LCM. So LCM is going to give you how much? 3 and 3 will cancel off. So you have 2a over a plus 3 and a into a minus 3. That's all. Clear? Okay. And the next one, 12th. People make mistake here. You have two numbers. You have, what is this? Binary numbers. You should subtract. Okay. One is that, now what do you mean by binary numbers? Binary numbers means the base is 2. Okay. The numbers you have in them is 0 and 1 only. Can you observe? You have only 1s and 0s. and from this you have to subtract 101. So this is the way you write, okay, like our normal subtraction. Okay, now observe carefully. Now can you subtract 1 from 0? You can't. Therefore you have to borrow 1 from the left hand side. Once you borrow 1, okay, this doesn't become 10 but it becomes how much? Yeah, since this is the base 2, this becomes 2. So from 2 if you subtract 1, how much is that? 1. Okay, now what happens? Yeah, you have already borrowed 1, so you can't borrow from this. So you borrow 1 from this side and take 1. When this 1 comes to this side, it becomes 2, right? And already you have borrowed 1. So if you subtract 1 from 2, the value you have here is equal to 1. So from 1 if you subtract 0, how much is that? 1. So already, now moving on to this side, already there was 1. So since you have borrowed here, you have the number you have here is 0. Can you subtract 1 from 0? You can't. Therefore let us take 1 to this side. That becomes how much? 201. Yeah, since this is the base 2, when you borrow this 1 to this side, it becomes 2. Therefore 2 minus 1 is equal to 1 to the base 2. Clear? Okay, that is the 12th one. 13th one, just observe. This is simple. Two conditions necessary for the triangles. Okay, these two are congruent. Two conditions are given. One is that this side is equal to this side and the other is this. They have marked it, okay, equal. So two conditions are already marked. What you have to do is, out of these 4 conditions, you have to select, out of these you have to select the correct ones. Okay, now observe very carefully. Now there are some parts to be observed. This is the way. Look at, okay, now this side is marked, this side is marked. You have two conditions marked correct. Okay, now when you think about congruency, there are altogether how many cases? You have some certain cases, right? Okay, let us not check that in details, but let us try to do this part. Let us check the first one. They say angle ABC is equal to DEF. Angle ABC, this angle is equal to DEF. Where is DEF? Okay, now what I say is that this choice is correct. Why? What is the meaning? That is because when you speak about this case, when they speak about two sides, the next case, the next condition should be should be the third side or the included angle. What do you mean by the included angle? Included angle means the angle between the two sides you are speaking about. Clear? So this angle is between these two sides, and when you observe angle DEF, that angle is also between the two sides you are speaking. Okay, so this condition is correct. What about this BAC? Where is BAC? Can you take this angle? Is this an included angle? No. Included angle means the angle between two considered sides. So this will not come. So we can cancel off the second. Look at the third one. You have an angle that is ACB. ACB, that is they are speaking about the C angle. Can you consider that angle? Can't, because it is not an included angle. That is the reason. So and then moving on to the fourth reason, AC is equal to FD. Yes, you can take, right? That is the first case. The three sides of a triangle, when it is equal to three corresponding sides of another triangle, you can say that those two triangles are congruent. Clear? Okay. So the 14th one, what do they say? What type of a progression is represented by the following sequence? You have to give reasons to justify your answer. Okay, observe. The first term is given 1 over 16. Second term is also given. Third term is also given. That is 1. Okay. Now this is the way. In order to find this, okay, now when you just observe these fractions, you understand this as a geometric progression, right? Arithmetic means something is added or subtracted. But this is like you have fractions and it looks like geometric. No, but you cannot say you can say the reason and you cannot justify. Now you have to give a valid reason. Therefore, in order to find out, this is the way. In order to say that this is a geometric progression, what you have to do is you have to divide the right hand side. Take these two terms. You have to divide the right hand side, the term on the right hand side, by the term on the left hand side. So you have 1 over 4 divided by 1 over 16. So how do you perform this division? People have mistakes here, okay? Observe, 1 over 4 division becomes multiplication, and you take the reciprocal of 1 over 16. Reciprocal means you change the numerator and the denominator. Now solve. What is the answer? The answer is 4. That means the common ratio is equal to 4. So common ratio comes in what? Now here you have arithmetic progression, no? That means the first term, when you multiply the first term by 4, you get 1 over 4. And multiplying the second term by 4 will give you 1. So what is the next term? Next term you get? You have to multiply 1 by 4, that is going to give you 4, 8, 12 and so on. Okay, clear? Okay, so 15th, what does the 15th question say? They have given you that x is equal to root 5. Now you have to find out the value of x squared minus 2. Now since x is equal to root 5, in order to find out x squared, how much is that? Yeah, root 5 into root 5. How much is that? Root 5 into root 5 is 5. So x squared is equal to 5, and from 5 you have to subtract 2. That is how much? 3. The answer is 3. Simple. Okay. And the next question. A and B are 2 points on a level ground. Those are 2 points given. Okay. The bearing of B from A is 128 degrees. How do you get the bearing? That is this way. Okay. The bearing of B from A. That means you have a point A. This is the north. Okay. From this A, now this is the point A. From this point A, you have another point B, which is having a bearing of how much? 128. So from this you have to take 128 angle, and through this line, somewhere on this line, you have the point B. Also they have given you some details here. The distance between A and B is 25 meters. So you have to just draw a rough sketch. So I'll say like the point is here. So you have to say this angle is equal to 128 degrees, and also this length is equal to 25 meters, right? Yes. So are you okay with that part? And then let us focus on the next question, 17th. What does it say? Using the data given in the diagram, name a line segment equal to CE. Now this is the midpoint theorem. Okay, already I have explained you that lesson. That is, you have to mention another side which is equal to CE. Now observe this triangle, the triangle ACB. Now since these two are marked, then D is the midpoint of A and C, right? Okay. Now this is the theorem. Okay, now they have included the converse of midpoint theorem. That is, in a triangle, if you consider a midpoint, and if you draw a line which is parallel to the third side, or parallel to the third side, the next side, it meets exactly the midpoint of the other side, opposite side. Clear? See, D is the midpoint. If you draw a parallel line to the opposite side, it will meet exactly the midpoint of the third side. So E is a midpoint. E is the midpoint means these two lengths are equal. Therefore CE, you can say C is equal to EB. Clear? Okay. So you have two parts there. The second part, find the length of AB if D is equal to 8 cm. Okay, you have one more theorem, one more conditions, like is like this. I told you that this meets the midpoint, right? The other thing is that the length of DE is equal to half the length of AB. Then if D is equal to 8, AB is equal to 16 centimeters. Simple. Okay. Next is you have to find the answers without using a logarithmic table. So how do you how do you find out? So LG means the log to the base 10. Okay, you have two values. Now since this is addition, you can use what? Yeah, you have learned the conditions. You can use multiplication. You can use the common log. Log of 25 multiplied by 4. What is the answer here? Log of, which question is this? 18th. Log of 100. Now LG means base 10. Na? Okay, 10 to the power, how much will give you 100? It is equal to 2. Clear? Easy.